Can you hear me? Wait, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't.
Doot, doot, doot. When is start time?
Hi. Hi. Can I be here? Can you hear me? Paul?
Welcome to the live stream.
Okay.
Yes,
Hi
I hear
everyone.
you.
Okay. Kinda wait.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, so we're there.
I'm trying to make sure I've got one off and one on. Hello,
Okay.
welcome everyone to our live stream. Thank you for being in our live stream today. Please hit the like and share, everyone.
Hi everyone. It's good morning to those who are morning right now, and good evening to those who are evening right
Hello.
now. Yep. And this is another episode of the Creator Corner. So this is gonna be the third one. So I hope you will enjoy and have fun with us. I am Clai, and this is the one that you see on front is Paul Blacks. Okay, I'm gonna put him on.
And I am Paul Blogs too, everyone. Welcome.
I'm gonna put the guest on.
Okay.
Okay,
We're going to be waiting for our guests to arrive,
he's
guys.
here.
They're with us.
Hi,
Hello, Clay.
hi. It's me. You can't see me. Just see me in the back.
Hello.
Hello,
Welcome
Paul.
to our
How are
live
you?
stream.
Yes,
Okay,
thank
how are
you.
you? Hi, Ashley.
Good
So,
to
how are
hear
you
you.
today?
I'm good. I'm wonderful.
Okay. And how about kind of hard to pronounce your name, my friend?
My name
It's yeah, at Er Er
Ertunga.
Ertunga.
Ertunga. Yes.
Ertunga. Okay.
Yes, sorry.
So if I could remember my Turkish nasilsin.
Teşekkür ederim.
Ertunga. Uh-huh.
Okay, that's
Sen
good.
nasılsın?
Okay, that's nice. So could you tell us more? I mean, a little about you. I mean, we know you. Er.
Ertunga.
Yeah, Ertunga, you could tell us about you a little more about you
Yep.
for the people who are in the chat or who are gonna watch the replay of this one or who are
Ertunga.
out there watching also.
Yep.
For yeah,
My name is Ertunga Ecir. I know it's an unusual Turkish name. Probably are used
okay.
to like very usual Turkish names like Ali Mustafa. But Ertunga is a name
Yes.
before Turkish people became Muslim. So it's a pure Turkish name, and that's
Mm-hmm.
a little hard to pronounce though. So
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm I was born in 1977.
Okay. So
So
it's evening.
We both struggle with that name.
Yeah, it
you
is.
think
I
so?
also
Okay.
I had a hard time also learning Turkish. I did try one,
And
but
you
it
know
makes my
merhaba and anything else that you know in Turkish?
a little. I know kanim and ashkim.
Oh,
The middle words. It's a
the
middle
words
word,
that
yeah.
you need probably, right?
Yeah, it is. So I didn't continue that one because it makes my tongue twist. It's a little hard
It
to
is.
learn Turkish. Really, it's
Yeah,
nice to
that's
listen to them. It's nice to listen to them when you talk. But if you're not really that, if you're not really Turkish, it's difficult. It's hard.
I think every language is hard to learn, but
Yeah.
Turkish is different than these European languages a little bit.
It is.
So I'm a tour guide, and I run an agency called Pelisti Travel in Turkey. So I've been guiding in Turkey about 20 years now, in whole
Mm-hmm.
Turkey, and I live in the western part of the country. So I don't know if you know about Turkey or
20
not, but
years.
yeah, 20 years.
Uh-huh.
The
Which
town
which?
Kuşadası. It's close to Izmir.
Oh, it's close to Ishmael.
Izmir.
Was that the
Maybe
one with Marina, the boats? No,
exactly. Yes, yes,
that's
yes,
not. Okay,
yes. Yeah, that's the one.
I still
Ishmael.
With
remember
the
that one.
cruise, the cruise ships are
Yeah,
coming.
with the cruise, they call it the They call it Marina. With that,
Right,
Okay.
there is
the
also
boats.
marina.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the beach and the
it
boats.
is only
Yes.
in kilometers, about 20 kilometers away from the ancient city of Ephesus.
Uh-huh.
So it's not very far away from there, and that's the main place where I'm guiding also, in the
Oh,
ancient city of
yes.
Ephesus.
That's
Yeah.
that's the one in your video, isn't it? That's one
Yes,
in
I
your
have a
tour.
video about. Yes, that's right, exactly. I have few videos actually. Close to Ephesus, there are some other ancient sites, so I
Yes,
shot videos
that's the
there
one.
also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
And I studied English literature in,
Yes, they're quite enjoyable to watch the tour guys.
you mean the
that
videos? Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, go on.
Uh okay, Paul, you
Yes,
wanna say
the
something?
videos very interesting.
It is. We'll be
I think
at
he was
Surga.
talking
We'll be
about
asking some.
studying English, so I was going to let him carry
Yeah,
on
yeah.
talking
That's
about
what I
studying
studied
Yeah.
English.
English literature in university in Kayseri, which is in the middle of Turkey. And but I became a teacher, but I taught 1 year. Then later on, I stopped teaching. Then I started guiding here in Turkey.
So you found that teaching is not, it's more of guide,
Guiding.
right?
Okay.
Yes, I like
Wonderful.
teaching, but guiding is also a kind of teaching. So
What's that been, Clay?
So we'd say it's much easier to guide than teach.
it is
Uh,
easier because
uh, what
you
was
know
the
that
level?
Do it go.
What was the level that you're teaching? Was it college or high school?
high school.
High school. Oh,
That
those
was
were the
really
days of getting headache with the professor and all that. I
yes,
guess
yes.
it is. Okay. So Paul,
So teaching high school students,
Okay.
you know the challenge. You can
challenge and
understand.
Interesting.
interesting, but
Yes. Okay. I've got a question.
Yes, good.
I have a. Yep.
okay.
What got you started in the tourism in Turkish? Uh, what got you excited to do the subject?
But here, I was I was born in Kuşadası, so this is a touristic town, and I was always with the tourists. So while I'm studying in summers, I was working in different shops, and actually that was the only job that I could do here in this town because of the tourism here. And later on, because I saw guides here, and it was interesting job for me to introduce my country, and that's how I started guiding. And I worked as a guide maybe 10 years, and later on I decided to make it more professional, and I opened up my own agency. And now, until the lockdown, until the corona, it was going great. But you see, last year was very quiet in Turkey, and this year, I don't know yet, but we started okay. There are some tourists at this moment. People are traveling now, although we have lockdown in the country. But tourists are exempt from the lockdown, so they still
That's
can
good.
come to Turkey. They can travel. The sites are open. The museums are open. Some restaurants are open, not all, but some of them are
Okay.
open. Almost all the hotels are open.
That's
So
good.
for tourists, it's good. Like for Turkish people, we have lockdown until 17th of May.
It's quite a long time that Turkey is under lockdown. Is the
Uh,
case still
Very well.
going up?
So it's
yes,
still a
yes,
little bit longer.
It is.
yes. Now it's Ramadan. Uh,
Okay.
Ramadan is when Muslim people are fasting. So generally, most of people are not
Mm.
going out anyway. So that's why they
Yes.
decided to lock down people. And tourism is very
So
important for Turkey. I think it's essential. And
so
yes, Clay?
so Ramadan is, it's not there's no that activities that you go to this park and all that. It's like you just do that at home. No public
No, no,
gathering
no,
this
no.
year.
Normally, yes. In Ramadan, there's I mean, especially after fasting, uh,
Yeah.
there's public prayer. People are going to the mosques, and
Yeah, you
and the
usually gather gather around, right?
right, right.
Uh-huh.
That's why they decided to control this little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the last days of Ramadan, after finish 1 month, we have 3 4 days
That's right.
holidays,
Mm-hmm.
and these holidays are people visiting each other and eating a lot, of course, because they
More
cannot eat
eating.
1 month. Yeah, more and eating desserts and like
Okay.
you visit your relatives,
Oh
let's
yes,
say,
of course. Got to eat. Got to eat.
got to eat, and they force you
Is
to
it
eat also.
is it 8 in the evening you eat, isn't it?
Yes, in the evening after sunset. So after Ramadan fasting time, it is from starting from sunrise until sunset. You
After
cannot
sunset.
eat, you
Right,
cannot
that's
drink.
right.
So, but after sunset, it's like free to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a good, maybe good time for lockdown because after Ramadan, Turkey is waiting and
To
actually
eat.
need tourism, and we hope the tourism will start again. But the number of cases were increasing, and now it's getting better now.
Okay, that's nice to hear that it's not it's is
Mm-hmm.
it going down?
It start going
On
down, but of course it
It's
takes
gradually
time,
getting
little bit
better,
of
is it?
it takes on the
yeah.
place that you are in, is it
Hmm.
high or is it being controlled or monitor the cases of the COVID?
My town, it was not that high, but when people heard about lockdown, uh, everybody moved here. So because it's a
So
small town and touristic place, and here in this part of Turkey, people have summer homes,
yeah,
and summer homes are better
Mm-hmm.
places to be in during the lockdown. You have a little bit of garden, and you can walk around by the sea because we still can go
yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not very strict. We
What
can
what
walk to the shop.
what was the I
Mm-hmm.
forgot the name of the city that you have the summer town and the beach? Quite I
Kuşadası,
mean, and yeah, it's just an hour, right? An hour from Kashmir.
İzmir. Yes, 1 hour
Yeah,
from Izmir.
I saw that one. That was a place with the sea and the ocean. That was very beautiful.
Yes, yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, it
So we
is.
still
And
can
then,
go out and we can walk to the shops, and that's why
mhm.
some people, it's better to be here than in Istanbul or Ankara, especially if they have summer
That's
homes.
good.
Then they moved here. The
Mhm.
traffic was very bad the first day. Everybody was going
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. And Bodrum is not very far away from here. It's a very touristy Turkish town as well, a touristy town.
Oh dear.
About 2 hours, it was the same. I was in Bodrum when the lockdown started, and the traffic was, very bad because many people from all over Turkey they moved there. So I don't know the cases now. I have no idea about the town. I was away,
Mm-hmm.
so because as we are
Yeah.
tourism workers, like we are vaccinated already,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and we can work, so we can get permission. So I had a tour for like 2 weeks tour. I just finished it yesterday, and that's why I was away from
That's,
the town.
that's
But
good.
generally, in all Turkey, the cases are
Mm-hmm.
going lower now. It's getting better
How did
now.
it go? Did it go good?
The tour? You mean what?
I was just about going to
Paul,
say how was your tour? How
what
did that go? For
the
the two
tour, the
weeks,
tour for did you
the two
Ah,
have?
two
weeks
weeks tour.
tour
Yeah,
that you
it was
did.
great. It was great.
Did it go well?
Yes, yes, it was great. Thank you. Like we did almost, we started from
Mm-hmm.
Istanbul and we drove down
That's good.
to Troy.
That's good.
Then
That's good news.
yeah, we did few ancient sites in the western Turkey. Then we went to south and we went to Cappadocia. and we finished in Cappadocia.
Was there not difficult to go around
Hmm.
from city to city? Like if you go to Cappadocia
I've
to
got to watch some more of these videos. They
what's that?
sound
Yeah,
exciting.
do
No,
they
no, no.
require the travel documents and all that? I mean, uh,
Yeah,
a
I
test
mean,
or a code?
to enter Turkey, that Turkey needs a
Yeah.
PCR test. So all the tourists they have to
Okay.
test it, but this is until 15th of May. In 15th of May and onwards, like from 16 countries, Turkey will not need a PCR test. And probably till the end of the May, I think we will open the border to everyone. Let's see. I mean, if the country is not very critical, and it depends on the vaccination in other countries, and also number of the
Mm-hmm.
cases in the other countries.
That's a
So
risk. Uh-huh.
yeah, the risky countries still we may need the PCR test, but if the country is not risky, so Turkey will not need, which is going to be good for tourism.
Okay, so it depends on the country if it does have a high cases on that one. So you would require the test before they come in to the Turkey. Did I
Yes,
understand it right?
at the moment,
Let's say,
at this moment, everybody
yeah.
needs to have PCR test to enter the Turkey. But
Okay.
after May 15th, then 16 countries, from 16 countries, Turkey will not need,
Mm.
it will not be necessary. Until the end of May, which we guess, like most of the countries.
That's nice. So at the end of the May 15th, the countries that coming and going there, no more tests. They
Hmm.
can go there and visit.
They can visit, yes,
Yes.
but they may need test before they go to their country. So, and the test is very simple in Turkey. We do PCR test, and you can get the result the same day.
That's
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, and
Okay,
it
that's
is
quick.
the price is very reasonable comparing to other countries. And the price is fixed, doesn't matter which hospital you're going, it is 30
That's
euros.
that's great.
Yeah, so 30 euros, which is around $33, I think.
Hmm.
So you can
Mm-hmm.
get your results, and if you are negative, then you can fly back to your country.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. That's quick that you're able to get the results fast.
Yes, exactly. Like
Yeah.
we went to a
Hmm.
hospital in Cappadocia area before they flew to their country, and we went there around 10
Very
o'clock in
quick.
the morning,
Hmm.
and we got the result at 4:30 in the afternoon. So the same day. That was fast.
Okay. That's nice.
Hmm.
Paul.
The same, the same, the same day. Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
quick.
That is quick indeed.
Yep.
Is it drive through or you go
Yep.
personally,
Did you want the next question?
Paul?
Clay, who is asking?
Yeah. Is it the test? Is it done the driveway just like in the states, or you personally go there on the center? Is it
No, no,
face to
you
Claire
face?
was asking. I
face to
think she's
face. Yeah, you
asking.
should go there. You should go
Okay.
there.
Is it face to face?
I don't know how they're
Okay.
doing in US, but I think similar because they get from your nose and you're from your mouth.
Yeah. That was
To quote, it's painful. I don't like.
it is. It is just by watching it. It's
Yes,
it is indeed.
I think it's
Paul.
also. I think. Yes, it is painful. Yeah, I don't want it up the nose. That's for sure.
I hate that nose part.
Dear. Yes.
We, we're gonna ask so ask for
Yeah. Uh, uh, Okay, gonna ask. Alrighty then. Um, which would be the first location that you would bring somebody on your tour?
If I have to choose one place, you mean? One location?
Yes. One
Ephesus.
location that you could choose.
Ephesus, close to my house. So
Yes. If you're having to choose one place on your tour, yes. Uh-huh.
yeah, then it would be Ephesus. It's a very how can I say? I don't know if you ever heard about.
That's a good one. I like that answer. Close to your house. Uh-huh.
That's the first reason, of course. But the second reason is it's a very I mean interesting place to visit. It's one of the I can say one of the best preserved ancient sites in the world, not only in Turkey. So I think if you come to Turkey, that's must visit place is I think Ephesus. But what I can say is the whole Turkey is. I mean, when you travel to Europe, it's amazing places. There are like Italy,
That
you know, the
sounds good.
Spain is amazing. But the places that you visiting are after a while, after 2 weeks, they are similar. Like from Italy to Spain, or when you travel to Portugal, for example, I mean, you don't feel like you're in a different country. You know, it's like the whole country is, whole Europe is very similar culture and the ruins, the churches, and but Turkey is quite different this way. So one region is very different than the other one. So if I have to choose one place, that would be Ephesus. But I think the whole Turkey trip is interesting because if you start from Istanbul, it's a big city, like it's a metropolitan city, about 20 million people, and you can see the mosques, you can see churches, a city life, like half in Europe, half in Turkey, sorry, in Asia. And Istanbul is the only city in the world which is in two continents. Like there is a Bosphorus bridge and over the Bosphorus Strait. And if somebody stand in the middle of the bridge, and if you put your right foot one side and the left foot the other side, you can be in two continents at the same time. So it's an interesting city in a way. And like this region is more, because of tourism, you don't feel like you're in a Middle Eastern country in a way, because many people before they come to Turkey, they have no idea. So this is more like a European place, like. But if you go to the central Turkey, then it is a totally different story. More conservative, but like not green as here. Cappadocia is, for example, it's like you're feeling like you're in a different planet. It's totally different. And if you go to the eastern Turkey, like now I'm going next week, another tour for 2 weeks, and we'll go to Syrian border, Mount Nemrut. Then we'll drive to Urfa, like southeast. Then far east, we're gonna see the ruins there, and then to north, like the whole 2 weeks, but only east and north of Turkey. So that area is totally different as well. Like you feel like you're in a Syria, like very very close to Syria, or Iraq or Iran. So there you can feel you are in a Middle East country. So that's Turkey is a big country if you compare it with other European countries. Like the size of I think like Germany maybe. So it's quite interesting, and also it's interesting to work as a guide in this place because there's so much to tell about, and because the areas are different than each other, you see that people don't get bored easily, and it helps me to do my job and uh, interesting that way. But answer to your question, the first place is always Efesus. That's where I started my guiding career,
Oh yes.
and I
That's
it's like a home for me.
uh there's a lot of people in Turkey speak English.
You
No,
like that
no,
one?
No,
no, not many.
it is
But
more.
if you're sorry, if you're traveling around here, the places that the tourists are going,
No,
uh, some
not
like
many.
some people like shop owners and some people can speak, but mostly cannot.
So mostly they speak Turkish.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I have to.
What about German? What about German? German. It's, what about German? Is it
But
well spoken? The German, Germany.
German,
German.
Did they speak?
German,
Yeah, they speak German in
no,
Turkey.
no, no, mostly Turkish.
Uh,
But uh, let's say about 60s, many people went to Germany to work in factories there, and some of them returned and they are living in Turkey, so they speak a little bit of German. But from the people who went to Germany like 60s, 70s, even they don't speak German. So I mean, not many people also speak German language. So mostly Turkish. And the other thing I always thought about it,
uh,
like why another language is difficult for Turkish people to learn, because I think one of the reason is, of course, education. But other thing is our most of our TV channels, the movies. So we have so many Turkish movies that people are watching local series and local films. And even if it is a foreign movie, then we don't have subtitle. We subscribe. Sorry, we no in Turkish we watch it. So people are not used to different
yeah,
to hear different language. That's why.
yeah. I've seen the television. They don't have the subtitle. It's under
Okay,
Turkish word.
people.
Even the songs and the
If
music,
no,
it
the
is
music,
on
no, no,
it is on Turkey
the music is of course in
English.
whatever English or whatever language it is, but uh, people listen most of Turkish music. So foreign music is maybe young people now they listen foreign music, but not so much. It's not like other countries. So here's a little bit. How can I say? Everything is Turkish. Like so, people live with Turkish music, Turkish films, and there are foreign films, of course,
The-
but
mo-
not many people watching it. There.
uh
If I just
So basically,
I need to.
think about that way, in the countries, for example,
We have a question in the chat saying there would. Okay. Let me. Yep. I was going to let you continue because you were going to say something.
I I thought about this again
What was you
because
going to say? Sorry about that.
no, the countries I traveled mostly, like for example, who are learning different languages very easily, uh, like Holland, or they speak few languages there, or Serbia. The amazing people are learning English or many languages, like because I think all their television from their childhood they listen uh, foreign languages, so they're familiar with that language. But if you, for example, if you go to Italy, or it's hard for them because they are like the Turkish people, like they listen their own music mostly. They, of course, foreign music as well, but their own films and no subtitles. I think that's very important to learn a language.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. A second language or a few languages if you can.
Yes,
Yeah. Um,
and Turkish
okay.
is
Are we going to?
from
We're going to
the
move on to another question. You're going to ask, or you want? Okay, you had some more things to say, so let me
yeah the
let
Turkish
you
language
continue with
is
that
from
one.
yeah the Turkish language is from Finnish and Hungary language branch, and which is different than European languages. So for us, it's not easy to learn because different language roots. Let's say Italian can learn French, or French. There are many French words in English, or Spanish, like Spanish and French, quite similar. Or if you're Spanish, maybe you're familiar with some words in English, but Turkish is totally different. Like that's why it's not easy to learn a foreign language. For us, it is easy to speak. It's interesting. Japanese.
Japanese from among the foreign language,
Yes,
Japanese is
yes.
much easier to speak than Turkish.
Much easier for Turkish people to learn and to
Japanese.
speak
Oh, that's
Japanese.
interesting.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Than, than English. Japanese is also a bit hard.
it is like, but for
Yeah.
Turkish people, the language, the structure of the language is similar. Like our language
Yes,
is
it's supposed to be very hard.
with we
So
the word, like there is a word, and we add all the suffix and the time or plural and singular, everything to the word. So one word can go longer and longer and longer. So you can make one sentence without any space. Like you can make a sentence with one word. So maybe that's why Japanese is similar as a language structure. Let's say I can write you a word, for example. Can you
Sorry,
read?
there's a lot of noise going outside.
Now this one, geliyorum. That's only one word, right? But this is the root of the word. Gelmek is the verb. Geliyorum. Your is simple present tense. Your shows simple present tense. And here is me, subject. So geliyorum is a verb, means I'm coming. Are you there?
Okay,
Can you hear me?
that's good to know. I like to know that one.
I think we're having a delayed.
Yep, we're both there.
I think it's a
Yep, I can
connection.
hear.
We're having a delayed. We're kind of. We can hear you.
Just
We
trying to
can
cut
hear
out the
you, but
noise
there's
outside.
there's a little delayed that one.
So any more questions? The third question, right? You want to ask?
Okay, is there any more question? Yep, second question. Third question. Okay. What food would you recommend for the people to eat in if they come as a guest
In Turkey.
to Turkey?
Now, the Turkish cuisine is very rich, actually, because the geographical position of the country is between east and west. Like if you just look at the map of Turkey, and the western part is Greece and Bulgaria, our neighbor countries. But when we go to the east, our neighbor countries are Iraq, Iran, Armenia, up to the north, Georgia. So, and Turkey during the Ottoman Empire period ruled the region about 600 years. So the cultures, different cultures, they mix, and the cuisine is also a kind of culture. So every area they have different kinds of food. But many people in Europe, they know about doner. Doner is like lamb or beef or chicken. They slide it and then they wrap it in a pita bread and they put green salad or tzatziki or different things in it. So it's like a street food. I can recommend doner. But when we go to the eastern Turkey, oh man, it's like amazing, like meat everywhere. So different food, like little spicy. For example, southeast, if people don't like chili or spicy, then I don't recommend them to taste their food there, or you should tell them that you don't like it. Otherwise, they put so much spice there in the east. Whereas in my area, we like vegetables mostly, less meat. So herbs, wild herbs, like on mountains there are, especially springtime. We go up to the mountains, and of course some people do that. They pick the herbs and boil them, and we can eat that. So we don't eat much meat in the Western Turkey. So which is very popular is, the grape leaves. We call it sarma. They put a little bit of rice in a grape leaves, and they wrap it, and then they put a little bit of water, and then they boil it. So we put lemon juice on it. So, and that's delicious, which personally I like too. Dolma is a pepper or eggplant. Again, you put mincemeat and rice inside, and you put in the oven. So dolma is food that I can recommend. And of course, desserts like baklava, so many people know. But generally, what I feel is from the tourists visiting here, they don't like that very sweet. Turkish desserts are really sweet. I mean, so sweet sometimes. But we are used to that, and that's baklava, for example. It's the syrup with sugar, and in baklava there's pistachio flavor or walnut flavor. You can get different flavors of baklava. And Turkish delight, like many people they know about it. Turkish delight. Again, the good Turkish delight is the one with honey. Also, you can
My
get
favorite.
yes, you can get many
love
different
Turkish
flavors. You can get many different flavors. So Turkish, like when somebody as a guest visit our house, we give them the cologne. Like cologne is alcohol with, not to drink. This is you wash your hands and face to refreshment. You get some alcohol with lemon juice. It's anti-disinfection. So we give this one. Yeah, you make this and then you put it in your face. It has very a sharp smell. You can
Yeah.
and then
They do that,
Uh,
they do that with the haircuts, with the
oh
lemon.
yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
They put like
Uh-huh.
yeah. It smells okay. It smells nice. Before the perfume, people were using this, and when somebody comes as a guest, we give this one, and then uh, Turkish delight and coffee. We serve this. We drink coffee a lot in Turkey, but in Balkan countries, like even in Greece and some other countries, they drink more coffee than Turkish people are. So we drink tea mostly. And if you walk around in Turkey, every shop, like you can see somebody is drinking black tea. Not much apple tea though. Apple tea became very popular for tourists. I mean, at home we don't drink apple tea much or any fruit tea. We drink Turkish tea generally. A day, some people can drink 30, 30 cups of tea. That's makes addiction probably. So Turkish people, more than coffee, they drink tea. And it's interesting because sometimes people asking me like, why they call it Turkish people? Do you have Turkish coffee? Do you have coffee in Turkey? Actually, we don't have coffee. Like we import coffee from different countries, from Yemen. Basically, good coffee is from there. But the way how Turkish people cook it, probably it's called Turkish coffee. Because the cup and they put a little bit of coffee inside and they mix it hours like till it boils. And a good Turkish coffee should be with a little bit of foam on it. So it's a cultural thing. Like before, when there was arranged marriage times, the families were arranging marriage for their kids, and the families were visiting each other, and the groom's family was visiting the bride's family and asking their permission for the marriage. Then they serve coffee, and then instead of sugar, the bride was putting a little bit of salt in coffee, so it doesn't taste well and it tastes awful. But because generally the boy is a little shy and cannot complain, they were just watching the boy because this shows his character as well. So if you're like telling everything directly, then you can say, "Oh, what kind of coffee is that?" Or if you can be shy and be quiet and just force yourself to drink that coffee. So it's like a cultural thing, like Turkish coffee. And after you're drinking the coffee, they flip it over and then they close it to the cup of it, and you can wait for 5-10 minutes because Turkish coffee is powder, the bottom of it, and we don't drink that powder part. And they can read your fortune there. So this was very, very popular thing, like among the ladies, so they can read the fortune for each other. Now it's still we have this sort of cultures, but of course not like before now, especially in the Western Turkey. We don't do that anymore. But when we go to the east of Turkey or the middle of Turkey, it's still going on, still continuing.
That's still going. Okay, that's interesting.
So
I'm quite
basically,
into that part.
Turkey,
The
it's
coffee, the
it's
coffee
more
with
of
the.
Turkish
Well, I don't
tea
drink
than
the
coffee.
end of coffee either. So
No, but
that's
for
interesting.
Turkish coffee, okay, normal coffee you may drink, but Turkish coffee you cannot drink this.
Yep.
And I know some
Tea.
people who have no idea how to drink it, and they doing the whole thing, and that's not tasty.
Too
So
strong.
Turkish coffee too strong. Like Turkish coffee is like little bit. Like you don't put it with big cups. They're small cups, and you drink not the bottom part.
Mm-hmm. Espresso cups?
Uh, no,
Teacups.
Espresso? Bit like
uh,
Teacups, the
espresso.
smaller
Espresso
ones.
cups?
coffee cups. We have
Is
special
that
cups for
similar
Turkish coffee. Similar, but
or
uh,
smaller?
The small ones. I get the small
like
ones.
the size of espresso cups. But it is more, how can
Okay.
I say, decorative, like flowers, but it's like more traditional way. There's a
Mm-hmm.
little handle where you can hold it and to drink. Because whereas in espresso, like you drink it very fast,
Okay.
but Turkish
Oh.
coffee, you don't drink it fast, you drink it slowly. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Generally after dinner,
That's
that's
nice.
what we drink, or
You
morning.
do slow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah. Too strong
if
for
you
the body.
were
Well, for people's
if you
body,
were
I
first
guess.
time if you were first time to visit Turkey, what would you recommend or
Okay.
suggest?
To first time visit
Yeah,
Turkey,
first time to Turkey. So what tours would you recommend? In
hmm.
your you have a travel agency, so what do you suggest if first time coming to Turkey?
Now, of course, it
But
depends how many days somebody wants to spend in Turkey or the interest of the people. Like some people may not want to see the ancient sites or history. They are more like on to see the cities or the people maybe. So that's why my job I generally I don't have fixed itineraries, and my itineraries are depends on the people, like their interests and uh, what we call customized itineraries. But if you are somebody is coming to Turkey and like independently, not they may not need travel agency or a guide. Uh, like I highly recommend to visit, of course, Istanbul, like this, because most of the international flights are arriving to Istanbul. And if they have 1 week, then I would suggest them definitely to see Cappadocia. And the area is very, very interesting. And I minimum 2 days to spend in Cappadocia. And there are many activities in Cappadocia as well. Uh, for example, hot air balloon is very, very popular in the world, actually.
oh,
Many people.
what month in Cappadocia the hot air balloon event it is?
Yes,
It happens.
it happens the whole year, but in whole year, of course, some days the weather is not that good because for hot air balloon, the wind is important.
Uh-huh.
Shouldn't be so much wind or very calm also because you cannot control hot air balloon. You can go
Mm-hmm.
only up and
That's
down,
right.
you know. So the wind blows and it takes you wherever it's blowing. So if it is very windy day, then they don't allow uh, for the balloons because the important thing is first safety, then entertainment. So in 1 year, maybe 200 days, you can have balloon ride. And in winter, it's amazing if you can fly because of snow there. And for many people, Cappadocia is interesting place in the summer. But personally, I don't agree that. I think it's winter. Winter is amazing there because all these
Mm-hmm.
fairy chimneys and different landscape, the snow with the snow there, uh, and if the weather is pleasant, then hot air balloon winter is very good, but very risky because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they cancel it. I know 2 weeks. There was not even one flight in winter. So in summer, it's rarely they cancel it, but April April 15th onwards, I can recommend people to visit Cappadocia until November, even until December. Because now the climate, the global climate, changing now, and winter is coming a little late in Turkey. But till April this year, we had cold days. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to say, but if you, I know, because I know some people who are coming to Turkey mainly for the hot air balloon. I know some people proposing here marriage, and so that's because especially in Mexico, in China, that's very popular. They watch on TVs, and I think so. And it can be disappointed if the hot air balloon cancel a few times, and if they really want to leave that experience, because Turkey and Cappadocia is the best destination, chosen many times as the best destination for the hot air balloon. So I can say April 15th to November is a good time. And if still cancel, then you should say, I mean, you should accept this and then continue. Because I know some people are
Uh-huh.
very disappointed. They really disappointed, because I can understand them in a way, because they fly and their highlights should be the hot air balloon, and they really, really want to do that. But like, that's life, so cannot have it always. And which makes it interesting that hot air balloon is that excitement. You may have it or not have it, so that makes it more enjoyable actually when you have it. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you're sure that, okay, tomorrow I'm flying, and like you prepare yourself for that, okay, it's nice. But
Indeed.
if you don't know exactly, till the last minute, like, because sometimes it happens that we go there to the area, uh, and they call the authorities and somebody who is giving them, like, okay, you can fly or not, or we have a program that you can download, and if there is a green flag, then it means that you can fly. Red flag, you cannot fly. So I'm always checking it, and if it is red flag, so it can be in last minute. So just 10 minutes before your time arrives. So, but that's how it is. So in another thing, in Cappadocia, horse riding is very, very
That's
interesting.
right.
Because you can have a horse ride anywhere. I mean, that's the other thing. But because the landscape is very interesting in the area, and
Uh-huh.
the Cappadocia, the word means the land of the beautiful horses. Actually, that's the meaning of Cappadocia in the Persian language. So that's why the horses are amazing, and riding horse. And I really suggest people, if they like horse ridings, of course. Some people they don't like it. Other thing is jeep safaris, interesting, or ATV. The ATV, like the bikes, many of them there also. It's about the landscape. Like, it's a very big area with many fairy chimneys, and or if you don't like any activity, like you can walk miles and miles and never get bored, because it's very interesting. You can always like take the breeze, and you can look around, and you can see very interesting things, like churches. Cave churches are everywhere. Even though you are not a very like Christian, or you're not interested in religions, but it's maybe historically very important, very nice places, different, right? And especially very different than the churches in Europe. These are because cave churches, like in the cave, carved to the caves. And underground cities, there are many underground cities in the area. Quite amazing, like to think about
That's
how
right.
people lived in those places, like sometimes years and years without going out. And they had to live in very narrow, small rooms, sometimes up to 3,000 people in one underground city. So it's a different experience. I mean, hard to explain. It's like you must experience that. And the first place I would recommend for individual travel is Cappadocia is also okay, but the valley walking like is hard to do that because you may go to one valley and you can start walking there. And if you're planning to return your hotel back to your hotel by a vehicle, then then it's hard because you have to go back to the same vehicle because the valley you enter and exit from different place. So, but you can still do that. I mean, still doable. Like you can, it's possible to do it. So I would definitely expand because I'm traveling also. Like the thing that I'm doing in my business uh, is also I'm learning while I'm traveling to different countries. So, but I always thought about it, if I was not Turkish and if I was not born in Turkey. So let's say I'm British. Let's say I'm living
That's
born
right.
in Holland or China. Doesn't matter in different country. Would I enjoy traveling in Turkey? I would say yes because it would be one of my highlight countries, one of my best countries, best destinations. I can say it's not because I'm Turkish, like because I'm looking the whole the whole other countries that also I travel, and I would say yes, that's definitely because it's different and people are different. Like more of for some people, this is for example in Istanbul, and I feel that like we go to Grand Bazaar and the shoppers they try to sell you something. Sometimes it is a little frustrating, because especially people from the West, they're not used to this sort of bargaining things and or how much they can bargain. Sometimes they exaggerate it. Like let's say something is $100 and they try to offer $30. Like uh, this sometimes it's not insulting though because the bargaining you can never insult somebody. You can only tell your price to the people. But I understand that they are not used to this sort of system. So what I suggest people when they come to Turkey, or doesn't matter, Egypt, the same. Egypt is they're doing it more like, tough there. Here it is less, I can say. Like they just invite you to their shop and they can
Yeah.
offer you apple tea. You can always say no. Uh, then they will not insist so much because uh, it's not like like you should buy this. They're trying but not forcing. Of course, nobody can force to another person, but sometimes it happens that you feel like obliged to buy this, because they try not to leave you. But this thing we generally don't see it in Turkey anymore. It was happening before more, but last years people are more careful, especially after big crisis. Now nowadays people know that they really need tourism and they have to be uh, careful. So and the government is more careful about this rip-off, or because one thing that you can never be sure buying something if there is no price on it. Everybody is thinking like I bought this, but what did I buy? That's or is it really the price that I pay? That's the big question for people. But nowadays, uh, nobody can take that risk, selling fake thing and saying this is real, because there are many fake things in Turkey. Like you can buy many copies or like Armani T-shirts or no, but they tell you that these are fake, or it is written like in a very funny thing. And sometimes I see and I laugh it so much. Genuine fake watches, for example, they advertise their watches as genuine fake. So they're selling fake things, but they tell you it's fake because you cannot get one leather bag which is $30,000 for you're buying it for
Mm-hmm.
$300. Of course, that's not the logic. But uh, even though they're fakes, but they're really good copies. So you cannot see the difference. But that's the thing. What generally difficult for people. So what I suggest them to search a little bit about this sort of countries like Turkey before they come, and if they want to shop. So to read a little bit about how they can bargain. Uh, some don't know and they offer half price, but it doesn't mean that uh, the shopper is clever than them. So sometimes they do that. If something is
Mm-hmm.
$100, that's what their target price, selling target price, and they can tell you $200. And if you offer them $100, then 50%, then they're happy. So that's what the price that they're trying to sell you for. So this is a little bit of psychological thing to know the other person, but it's sometimes for me personally, I don't like that. I hate this. That's why I don't bargain. I never bargain, and I don't buy anything for the places that I bargain. And if I have to, I just give them my price and go. Like if they give and I buy. If they don't, I don't like that. The long bargaining thing. But this is how it works here. And let's say you're buying
Mm-hmm.
like a carpet, like a scarf, like anything from bazaar.
Bargaining skill. Mm-hmm.
Yes, you should bargain there. And I don't know, like I cannot suggest anything about this. But uh, that's part of the country. So they
Mm-hmm.
should see that way. That's part of that experience. So whether they will not shop if they don't like this. And the other thing is, which I also don't like, but there is a solution for that. Like Turkish people are easygoing. So if you tell them directly and seriously what you want, they're okay with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but when people are in a different country and they don't know how to, they try not to insult the other people because they're in different country, or they're so polite sometimes, and they don't want to be rude. But then uh, there's a balance for
Mm-hmm.
this. So, for example, you want to buy something, but you want to enjoy looking at the things, and you don't want a person come and approach you and try to speak to you and try to show you something. You want to see it yourself from the window. So you can just turn and tell them, like, can you give me 5-10 minutes? I just want to watch, and they're okay with it. So they will give you 10 minutes, but after 10 minutes they will approach you. So they will not give up. But at least you can say, yeah, you don't want to buy. And I worked as
Mm-hmm.
carpet sellers in my university years. So like the general thing, like all the tourists are doing, they go to the shop and they look at it. They either like it or not like it, doesn't matter. But they always say, we will think about it. So it is wrong because people know we will think about it means no. And then they will ask you why. The conversation will continue longer. So
Give me a second.
you just,
Getting hot.
yeah, yeah, we like to speak directly, and
Oh.
you can say, no, it's too expensive for me, or I just
Mm-hmm.
want to watch. Or when you go to a shop, you just,
It's.
even if you're in a market for something, you can just tell them, like, I'm not on a market for that good, but I'm happy to listen what you're telling. So they can explain.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, you can say, like, at the beginning, I told you I'm not interested in buying, but I just was curious, and thank you very much, and you can go. That's fine. That generally works. But if you're showing them your
Mm-hmm.
interest, then this thing can be longer, uh, which they are trying to sell, but you may not want to buy. Then just tell them directly your reasons. And because
Mm-hmm.
don't forget, this can be your first shop in Turkey, but for shopper, you are one of the million tourists that he's dealing with every day. So he knows all the tourists are telling him that I'm going to come back, or I will be back, or I will think about it. He hears that thing many times in a day, but you tell this thing maybe once or twice a day, and this is maybe your first experience. So just tell them directly, and that's it. Like that works. What I see generally, and what I suggest people is uh, just look at their eyes and say, "Listen, I don't want to buy it. That's fine." You don't have to show them any reason. And because we know in Turkey that service business, you can give your 1 hour to try to sell something, but it's always a possibility that you may not sell it. So we all know this one. So it's not insulting. It's not like if you go out of the shop that, but I wasted his time. That's his time is for that. It's not like America or some European countries that time is very important for people, because we are laid back people here. Like time is not that important for, especially, of course time is important. I mean, it's not like we work for time, like our wages. Most of people are working on commission base, and if they sell they get their commission, but they know that out of 10 maybe one or two can buy. That's part of that business anyway, and they're okay with that. So they know that. So you shouldn't feel like, okay, I'll go to a shop and he will help me for 30 minutes and then I will not buy anything. Well, that's part of the business. So I think people should be tough about this and say, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry wasting your time, but I'm not happy with your goods, or the price is not for me. But if they give you this, sometimes it's also very irritating. Another thing is, like, they say $100 and then immediately like, okay, I'll give you 50 for $50. So why you tell me $100 at the beginning? And or if, how can I know if that good worth $100, or if I pay you $100 then $50 more I would pay, right? So then you better walk away from that shop anyway. So if they try to sell you the thing and offering you the half price, I wouldn't deal with these people. Like if they try to understand you and try to ask you questions first, not trying to sell you what they want, but trying to find what you want for you, then you can deal with these people, and generally it can be successful for them and for the customer. So the basic thing that I talked a little long about this because I know this experience because 20 years in this business, and I'm with people always, like, and I listen what they want and what's the difficulties in this country. So main problem is not the problem, but different. Like it's not a problem for many people. They're okay with it. I mean, some people really enjoy it. I know some people from different, like we went to a leather shop, and I warned somebody because I like that person. I said, don't buy it from him. So because, or you offer them price, and at the end I went out and she came with a bag, 2 bags. I said, why you bought again? Because this is not your first time. She came many times, and every time she came, she buying leather, and she doesn't use it. I know, because she just put it in her wardrobe. And okay, she said, I have money, so it's not the leather that I want. I like that service thing. I like people are running around me and bringing this. I enjoy it. So it's not, I don't even look at the leather. I enjoy my time there. So that 30 minutes for her, it's very enjoyable. So she can buy 2 leather jackets just for that, because it's different. Like, and she knows she overpaid, but she's okay with it. There are some people who doesn't care and who like really that the atmosphere of that business and bargaining. She doesn't bargain, but there are these sort of cases. Like for some people, it is hard, and sometimes they come to me and ask, like, I'm not the best person for helping in this sort of things, but They ask me how can we offer the prize. I say like, okay, I'm going and talking to the shop owner. Generally, we know each other, of course. Like I tell them like, give them this prize or we'll leave. But the thing is, I have to see these people again. But tourists, they know they're with me, but they see them once, but I see them again. So I have to be, keep the balance, and I cannot be in the tourist side so much because then they wouldn't like me. So, but generally, I talk to tourists all these tricks and everything before we are going there, so they know what to do. So they don't need me anymore. So if I explain the situation, what will happen, and what's their the profit limit, and of course people has to earn something, and that should be fair as well. And I explain all these details to people, and they're okay then. So the other, like we talked about shopping in Turkey, we talked about Istanbul and Cappadocia, the hot air balloon. The other place I would suggest is this area if they really like the ancient sites like Ephesus, like Didyma, Apollo Temple, this sort of places. Turkey is an amazing place for that. But if you really like history, Turkey is amazing. I mean, we have more Greek sites
Do you recommend
than
anywhere on the water?
on the water, right? No, no. For example, we have more Greek ancient sites than Greece, or we have more Roman sites
Yeah,
than
on the water of
Italy.
Turkey. Do you recommend anywhere?
Yes, for history. Yeah, the whole Turkey is like open air museum. You can see hundreds of ancient sites. But I said like Western Turkey is
Yes. Yes.
Western Turkey, where I am from, is a good place for that. Ephesus, Pergamon. South is also very interesting. Like Antalya is the second touristic city in Turkey after Istanbul is Antalya. But I don't recommend Antalya for the people who like to see the history. But some people like they don't like history, so that's fine. They come to hotels and they spend all their time in hotel for relaxing. So in Antalya there are many hotels like resorts for them. But for travelers, I mean for people who like to travel, not staying in a hotel, 1 or 2 days in Antalya, because especially in the summer it's very humid and it's sticky. Like I don't like the weather there. I mean, I like the place very much, but summertime it is really you cannot breathe. Like you cannot walk out. Like I talked to many people from Singapore, Malaysia, so similar weather. So for me, it's like personally, and as my job is guiding, we are always in outdoors. It's hard to speak of like 1 hour, 2 hours in that heat. So okay, I would go to Antalya for the resorts, for hotels, and spend there 1 or 2 weeks in a hotel and swimming. And they're great hotels. There are even big resorts, that seven-star hotels, like a big investment in Antalya. There's really many German tourists, many Russian tourists, people from everywhere, like in Europe. They travel to Antalya and they really enjoy it. But to see the sites, I don't suggest to stay there long.
What
To swim long.
about Sesme? Kashmir?
Çeşme, yeah,
Yeah,
Çeşme
Kashmir.
near Izmir.
No. Okay.
It's an interesting
Yeah.
place, to be honest, but over promoted or very expensive, and there are more conservative little towns which is better than Çeşme. So some places, let's say, become very popular and everybody wants to go there, and but it is like overrated, like because suddenly
Mm-hmm.
now what happened is Bodrum became a very popular destination for Turkish tourists,
Yeah.
and mostly the celebrities and people who want to show off. What I say, they prefer to go to Bodrum and stay in a very luxurious hotel. Uh, a normal hotel in Bodrum in a high season, one double room. You cannot, like, I'm talking about 5 star or 4 star. Minimum what you pay is about 350 or 400 euros per room in June, July,
Mm-hmm.
August. Of course, there are reasonable hotels, but uh, if you there are areas in Bodrum that
Sorry. Okay.
extremely expensive, and let's say the second most expensive place in Europe after Paris is Bodrum. The property prices. Uh, can you imagine one hamburger and one Coca-Cola can be on a beach like around $100? So,
Mm-hmm.
or
That's expensive.
it is, yeah. I mean, exaggerated, because what people want is to eat that to hamburger in
Oh,
that
that's
place, and
expensive.
because it's expensive. If it was cheap, they wouldn't go there. So that's some people. So Bodrum is a that sort of a place. People going there because it's expensive. So it's not the beach, the best beach there. It's not. There is not the best houses, because the other side in Greece there is Kos. It's very close and similar houses there, and you can get very very reasonable prices. But Bodrum, it was very famous, or sorry, popular among this Turkish, uh, like who wants to show off. Like that's why they went there and overrated. And after Bodrum became touristy, and let's say ordinary tourists started to come to Bodrum, then the Turkish people left Bodrum and they went to Çeşme. So they wanted to be far away from these the touristic areas. So Bodrum was not that touristy, especially like not everybody could afford to go there. But
Mm-hmm.
after people are like now, I don't want to say that, but that's how it is. Like average tourist, like who, like me, I'm for example, when I'm traveling, I'm an average tourist. I'm not rich, and I cannot stay like 300 euros hotels. So people
Uh-huh.
like me, when they start going to Bodrum, so these rich people, they moved to Çeşme, and now they want to keep Çeşme that way. So uh, it is nice to see Çeşme, but nothing special.
Uh-huh. The place too is not that big, just like Bodrum, Shashme.
It's
The
not big.
areas,
Yeah,
yeah.
in the Çeşme, there is really nothing to see. I mean, there is a fortress and just
Uh,
one a boulevard to walk, and uh, like for Turkish people, it is interesting. I mean, because they, for example, for a tourist, I don't understand. Like they can see many places in Europe similar. No,
mm-hmm.
so but for Turkish people, it's different because that's in Turkey, and it is where they do show they show off. Like they house for millions of euros or millions of dollars. So it's in Çeşme. But this for foreigner, it doesn't mean anything. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
let's say for me, when I go to LA, like then there are these expensive houses around this main roads where all this Walk of Fame. So there are that expensive. For me, it's like nice, but doesn't mean anything. Like they're only nice, but there are many
Mm-hmm.
houses in other part of the world as well, like very similar. So
Yeah, you can, if you go to this place, you can see them on other countries. So they're more, it's
for
not
me, as
special.
a
They look more common and
yes,
familiar.
very
Yeah, I
common.
see
Like
that
I
one.
was
Yeah.
shocked. Like when I see these millions of dollar houses and how simple is that? Like I was like, these are that expensive. Like this is what they're calling all the movies, and so I was shocked. Like they're very simple for me. Like they're very small, but okay. Like you can, for as a tourist, for me, doesn't mean much. But if you're an American and if you say I live in that area, then I have a house in that area, so people can say, wow, that's then it's interesting for people. but for tourists, it's an average place. So this is what Çeşme is, an average place. But if you are a Turkish and saying, I live, my summer home is in Çeşme, and that's special. That's what Çeşme and Bodrum is. So there are other nice places in Turkey. So if you really want to see, why not? Every place is worth seeing, but uh, not. I don't think it's personally. I don't think it's anything special there.
What would you recommend a number of days or I say nights for like me? We're able to see places in Turkey, like say Istanbul and then
Mhm.
Antalya. Yeah.
Now, depends
The,
on your budget, but nowadays Turkey is really very cheap for tourists.
uh-huh.
If you are traveling individually, and if you don't have so much money, that's fine. It's one of the countries that you can easily visit because if you go out to eat a good meal, I'm talking about good meal, you can
Mm-hmm.
spend maybe maximum $10. But I'm talking about really soup, the main dish, and dessert. Like uh, in an average restaurant, for $10 you can have a good dinner. When I go to Europe, like for $10 I cannot have even a sandwich. You know, that's because uh, now is 1 lira, 1 euro is about 10 equal to 10 lira.
Yeah.
Turkish economy, unfortunately for us, like Turkish economy last 2 3 years is going very bad. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a heaven for tourists. Believe me, it's the right place. It's the right time to visit. So the first thing when you're planning your trip to somewhere, you should know how much money you are ready to spend. Because generally, okay, we are not people who has like unlimited budgets. If not, if yes, then that's great. Then you can look at other things, but still you can put budget. Like even if you are like very rich, I work with I do private tours, so my tours are not my reasonable if you compare it with other countries. You can get a good private tour in a reasonable price in Turkey, but still it's private, so it's more expensive. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are like with limited budget, then you can find a good hotel, clean. Because what I say is, I know in Europe, again in America, I traveled about 3 4 weeks. Average hotel maybe is $100. Like it's simple, clean hotel, like nothing special. Vegas is a little cheaper because they're gambling there, but other places like uh, on a road you find average hotel like minimum $100. Here, what I say, $20 you can find a good hotel, and but even if it is too much for you, then you can find $10, $15 hotels. So I mean, it's for limited budget and individual travelers. Turkey is really great place. Domestic flights are you don't need to get a bus, and some people are doing that and get one bus and from Istanbul to Cappadocia, and to save some
Uh-huh.
money. Generally backpackers, and they sleep overnight. Buses are very comfortable, by the way. Like you can have Wi-Fi in the bus, like your own television, like little screen, and you can watch movies and lay down. And they have service in the bus. They give you coffee, tea. They're very comfortable. But if one bus is, let's say, $10 or $15 from Istanbul to Cappadocia, and you can save from hotel. Uh, but if hotel is $15 and the flight is $50, then actually I would fly. And because domestic flights are around $50, you can fly everywhere in Turkey. Or $35. You can find even cheaper deal. I'm talking about $50 everywhere, but more or less. But if you check Skyscanner, then there are deals like $30 uh, or even $25 domestic
Do
flights.
you have for travelers like us? Does Airbnb?
No need
Do you have
Airbnb.
the Airbnb?
We have,
Just
but I don't.
hotels.
I think because
They have.
Airbnb is good when that's these are all my personal opinions. Like
No.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah, I use Airbnb a lot in Europe because I can cook at home and I feel at home. Like
Mm-hmm.
because outside the restaurants are expensive. Like I cannot go out and eat every night. And sometimes we buy from supermarket and we can cook. But sometimes I go and I always all my trips I go. The first day I go to good restaurant, good food. I taste what is best in the area. But I cannot do that every time because my budget is not for that.
Uh-huh.
Airbnb is great because I have a daughter and so we can have room and bathroom and we can cook home. But Turkey, you don't need that because the food is very cheap. So you can go out every day and you can eat great food for $10 or $15 maximum. Like so, what's the?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any reason for Airbnb. But of course, if you want to feel like stay in a place maybe 1 week, okay, maybe you don't want a hotel, then Airbnb is okay. But uh, Airbnb can be more expensive than hotel because the Turkish people also use uh, mostly not Airbnb but they rent house in touristic places
Mm-hmm. How much would a tour guide for
for a day.
the basic, yeah, for a day, for a basic tour?
Yes, now
Is it a daily, or is it
daily. It
there in
doesn't
Turkey
matter
at this
a
daily?
half day or full day. We pay daily. This is our. We have an association like a community and minimum wage that we should get like because this is legal right we have a legal we signed a legal treaty among all our members minimum
Mm-hmm.
wage is uh, around in equal to around $100 60 sorry 80 to
$100.
100 80 to 100 US dollars per day
That's for okay. That's
per
for per day.
guy
Okay.
but
Uh-huh. Not
uh,
bad. Not bad for a day, right? Mm-hmm.
if you are four people like you
Okay.
can share it then it's okay. Uh, but of course, longer tours are different. Like longer tours, uh, I charge, for example, for myself during my tour, uh, not 100 because I have my own expenses. I'm staying in a hotel, uh, and I have a driver, so there is a vehicle. So these are different. Then depends on the number of people, but still, for example, if you are five persons and you want a private tour, and you want to travel in Turkey 15 days, uh, then I can say you can do it maybe 5 6 thousand US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
if you
if
are five
that,
six, if you are five
yeah.
six persons, then you can share it. Then per person around. I mean, depends on your budget, of course. But if I'm comparing, like we shouldn't do that. Like comparing apple with banana. These are different things. Like if you want a private tour, Turkey is still cheap comparing to
Mm-hmm.
the other countries. Uh, that's why, for example, I know the prices of the private tours in all over the world almost. I know more or less because that's my business, and I meet people and I meet guides different areas. So Turkey is, if you're thinking about the service, the quality of the vehicles, the quality of the hotels, and the sites that you visit, if you compare this, all these things, Turkey is really, really very reasonable. The group tour that you can do in another country, I'm talking about small group tour and good tour, you can do a private tour in Turkey with the same amount.
So you have done this long, what called was that, long tour, not just a day.
Okay. Uh,
I generally
So
do multi-day tours, we call it. I
uh-huh.
mostly my I'm experienced with that. Like 15 days, 10 days with the same people. Like the last tour I did was 16 days with 5 Americans from Orlando, a family. We were always together. So I booked their hotels, I entrance fees, everything is included, like package.
So the
That's
the package is okay. The package includes the hotel accommodation,
it
the
depends. Like
transportation, right? It depends on the deal that you have or the agreement with
yes,
them.
some people
Right.
they like I'm very flexible for these things because as I told
Mm-hmm.
you, I don't like telling people that's my how I'm working. Like I listen people and what they want. Some wants to stay in Airbnb, right? So I say okay, you can stay in an Airbnb, and I can only provide you a vehicle and a guiding service. That's also fine. So, but mostly what I do is the package tour include everything because it's easier for people. Like they don't want to deal with uh, hotels because we know which hotel is good, which hotel is not. Sometimes there are local hotels which are better than the chain hotels. Like, and if you go somewhere like this area, there is a small village called Shirince. On my last trip, I arranged a small hotel, a boutique hotel there. And when I asked them which was their best hotel during their trip, they told me that was the best hotel, but it was very small. So it's a boutique hotel. The breakfast is great there. So I know that hotel. And if they want
Uh-huh.
to search that, they may not find it, or if they have to spend days and read a lot, and still not the same like a local. Like if I go somewhere, I would listen to the local person because I would leave everything to him. Of course, like depends on my budget. Again, I told you I don't know people's budget, so I generally ask them, "What's your budget?" And if the budget is realistic, because sometimes people are writing to me emails and like they want so many day tours, but uh, because they think Turkey is very cheap, like they give me like this is my budget. I say I respect you, but I mean then you shouldn't look for a private tour. So because private tour means minimum we should think about that. You should pay me, not me, but an average guide minimum $100. Then around $100 your vehicle, that petrol. So you should a day you should start with, and my expenses. Although I don't stay the best hotels, but minimum with my driver I can stay $50 hotel.
And
So
food as well.
and food as well, and entrances to the sites. So you should start from $350 per day, even if you're 2 3 persons. So, but it maybe sound expensive, but this is very reasonable, believe me, because you are hiring a guide, you are hiring a driver, you are hiring a vehicle. Then, if it is expensive, then you shouldn't do the private tour, which I suggest people because it's not free. I mean, uh, okay, Turkey is cheap, maybe, but uh, it's not so cheap. Like the food is cheap. People don't understand one thing. Uh, they think like everything is cheap. The food is cheap. The hotels, good hotels are very expensive. Believe me, it's like European standards. But cheap hotels are much cheaper. You can find very cheap. That's possible. But if you want a average thing, it's not cheap because life is not cheap in Turkey. What's going on in Turkey here is we are depending on the euro. Most of the things are in we import, like every country. Like you import uh, gasoline, you import cars. So the car is uh, like German car, let's say
Yep.
Mercedes, right? They are not selling you in Turkish lira. So either Turkish lira is it
Yep.
doesn't matter how much. The German car is 50,000 euro. So you have to pay 50,000 euro to get this car to Turkey. So everything is actually getting expensive for Turkish people. So it's not for tourists. So for tourists, the advantage is what we produce. is their advantage, because the food you cannot make very expensive because people cannot survive. So that's why the food prices are not increased that much. You can still have good food, uh, but for other things, let's say the turkey is expensive, like uh, because like everything is in the European prices. We are in the global market, so people are thinking like, why is that expensive? That's not easy, hard to understand, because the whole world is in one market now. So if we have our own car, let's say, could be cheaper maybe, but it's not, because they say this is what I produce and this is what I import from other countries, so it should be the same price, right? So no, I don't think we should expect so cheap country when we come. But if, like, let's say you're a backpacker and you don't have so much money, you can make a great holiday because you can look for cheaper places. That's possible. Because you can eat cheaper food. That's possible. But the average holiday, it's not cheap. Reasonable, but not very cheap.
So I was going to ask, what about if there's like 20 people? Would it be cheaper if there was loads of people together?
Oh yeah, of
Would you
course.
give them
Because
like a would you
I'm
give them a
told,
good deal?
yeah. Because what I'm doing is how I calculate my tours. For example, I put my daily wage, right? How whatever it is, I put it there, and then I put my expenses, I put it there, and I put the price of a vehicle, and I put the hotel, and dividing it the number of people. So it's not like per person price is $1,000. So if there are 10 people, it should be $10,000. I don't do that. So I divide 10, the vehicle price, let's say $100 per day, and I divide it to 10, and this is $10 per person then for vehicle. Then if the guide is $100, I dividing it to 10 and $10 per person. So that makes $20. And if you are two, let's say, and it makes for you $100. So that's a big, huge difference. If the number of people are increasing, the price is a big difference in the price.
Would drop in.
Yeah, drop a lot.
That sounds good if there's like a family or friends all together.
Oh yes, that's how it works. The more people are coming, and the less they pay. It should be that way, because then uh, that's our advantage of doing this customized trips, because most of it's hard now. It's for the small businesses hard to survive. There are big companies like international, or in social media. There's like Viator, or there's Tripways, or there are many these sort of things. Like they invest a lot of money for this, and but they charge. I work with them, by the way. I promote my tours in their websites also, but their system doesn't allow that, because if you go and try to buy a multi-day package tour from this sort of websites, then they calculate the number of the people. They multiply it with the number of people. Let's say you are two, then I promote my tours there, minimum 2 persons, right? Because one person is very expensive, minimum 2 persons. And if you are four, like for minimum 2 persons, the price was $1,000. And if you are four, and the price is then $3,000, $4,000. They multiply it with the number of people. they still cannot do customized, because for customized, you need the other, depending on the other person. And the commission rate they are getting was huge. I think they deserve, because they invest so much money. But in multi-day tours, the commission rate makes big difference, because they get 25-30% from the sale price. So if you have 5, and if the $10,000 you are paying for a trip, then the commission only you pay about 3,000. So if you find a local, a boutique, a small business like myself, or then you can deal with people, and they can be flexible. But of course, then reliability is also important. Like, for example, last year after this lockdown, it happened like suddenly. I had many tours, like this last year. Sorry, the year before. Last year it was in February and March, and the season just started. Like the January, every day I had few bookings, and I was thinking, what will I do this year? Because I cannot handle with many. So I was planning in April and onwards. I was not going to receive more. I was going to say, okay, that's done. Like I'm not doing more, because the year before, in 2019, I had so many tours, and it was difficult. Sometimes I'm thinking, okay, luckily I worked so hard. Otherwise, I could not survive during this too empty season, because we all need money. That way, I luckily worked hard in 2019, but I was thinking, okay, it's enough, because I cannot spend time with my family. That's why in March, I was thinking, this year I cannot handle. Already in March, suddenly, like this, COVID started, and like in 2 weeks, cancellations every day. And I just didn't want to look at the computer, because the morning I wake up and I see the cancel, and you have to do all these things from the beginning. And they sent you deposit, and you have to pay the deposit back. And people are worried. Are their deposit is going to be refundable or not? Well, now it's hard, like for me, but as I told you, I always think about myself being in the same situation, and I never spend people's deposit. It's always there, and I had to send all the deposits. I had to refund them all, but it's hard now, because it's in your bank account, and you different ways you take it, and now you have to give everything back. So that's how it happened. It's hard to invest, but well, this is the fact. And now, this is
charged and all of that.
Yeah, sometimes, you know what, PayPal or Payoneer or this sort of like middle paying systems. If we use that now, generally, I was using those. When I put the money in my Payoneer account, let's say, they charge me a percentage, like 3%, or and if I convert it into my currency, and I lose from the currency. But when the tour canceled, then I cannot reflect these things to my customer and say, okay, now who is going to pay this difference? But when you think about, it's okay for a couple of $1,000s, but when you're thinking about like, I don't know how many tours I canceled, 30, 40, and multi-day tours. That was a lot of money, and 5% is quite a lot of money. But that's what is for the challenge to work with the small companies, you know. Whereas in a big company, even those big companies like cruise ships, I know they didn't pay the refunds. So it's not always like, okay, like this is a great company, so it's a reliable place. I can if something happen, I can get my deposit back. Like in COVID, nobody can predict this sort of thing. So the big cruise ship companies, they reject. They just change the dates and they say no refund, but you can come next year.
That's
Well,
right.
maybe next year the person doesn't want. So, uh, but in a small company like mine, uh, reliability is important because uh, people has to rely on you. And nowadays that the world is all in computer, and it's it's not easy to cheat somebody. Or if you do it once, then you cannot have a long term business. So for small business uh, to because the big companies are. So when you're in Google Turkey tours, Turkey private tours, they all come because first page is always like via tour, TripAdvisor, tours by locals, or this sort of tours. No? And then you have to go to second page to choose us, like the companies, like local companies. So if you go to second page and choose, so you have to ask why this company, like why should I choose this person? And then you can think about your own things, like because I don't want to work with these other companies because I don't want to pay 30% commission. That's a lot of money. So if you choose that small company, then for us we don't have that sort of the payment system. So it's like trust, or reviews are very important. Like you can read the
Mm-hmm.
reviews of that small company, and if the reviews are reliable and the real reviews, I'm not talking about the fake reviews. And people are no, I think at the moment everybody knows which is fake, which is real. So if you trust that reviews, then I would definitely go with the local company. First reason is you get what you pay. I mean, that's very important because other thing is you for example, you can call
Right.
that middle companies, like the call center. Somebody can reply you, and somebody else doing in the tour in Turkey, they call me for that problem, and they don't understand. I cannot explain this middle person to explain my client the real problem, because uh, if the client is with me face to face to talk, I can talk any problem we can handle because I'm there. Hotel problem, the problem with food, the problem with myself. This can happen, so far it never happened, but it's
That's right.
possible. Like somebody that we don't have to like each other so much. Somebody may don't like me, so I say, okay, that's okay. I will replace myself. That's also fine. So you can do that. Whereas in the other one, you have to call the call center, and then they'll call, and that's a long term thing. And I think the best way is to deal with the reliable but local companies. I think that's the best way when you travel because uh,
Mm-hmm.
you really pay what is not overpay. That's definitely because we cannot charge overcharge. I can be expensive, let's say, but I'm expensive, and you can pay that money to me, and you can say I pay that person that money, but I'm happy with it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But you are
Yeah.
not paying me uh, because that you pay me directly, and you say, and you can compare it. I paid him this money
Yes.
because of these things, and I'm happy with that. But whereas the other one, that 30% is going for somebody, like
Uh-huh.
it doesn't come to me, and it comes out of your pocket as a client. Like if there's some people are doing this, I don't want you to pay commission. I always tell, no, I'm not paying commission. You are paying. You are the one paying commission because I have to add this 30% on my price,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
have to get it from you. So it's not like if my tour is $2,000 and I'm selling to you directly $2,000, and if I'm selling it 2,000, I would add 30%. I would put register that $2,600. So my price there on their website is not $2,000. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not paying that $600.
Yeah, yeah. I
For me,
understand that one.
for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's really doesn't matter. The client is buying from, whereas it's even easier for me. The systems are very easy. Like they just send me the dates and they say your tour is booked. Wow, that's great. And I don't have to write many mails, because customized tour, you have to, not, the problem is like we start planning the things, right? 10 days. And I really want to do it firsthand, like before the people come here, because
Mm-hmm.
I know people are excited before they come. They would like to see one country. They're not thinking very much about one country, and they just want to book, and they hurry and they say, okay, like book it. I say no, wait, because all problems starting after you come here, because you don't think now, and I just book for you everything, and you when you come, then because you didn't want to plan it before, and I'm there for you to talk about and the details and everything. And suddenly they say, "Oh, we didn't like this hotel," but I told you, you didn't have time then.
Uh-huh.
For this sort of tours, like you need to spend time. I'm not talking about so much time, but you must at least exchange a couple of emails. Like it's not like I want press on the button and I want to buy this tour. Multi-day tours are not like that. Multi-day tours are, you have to talk to a person, like where you're staying, what you see, and what are the other options. You can also ask. And when you start doing this thing, when you change one day, the problem starts. Because, for example, between Izmir and Cappadocia, there is no direct flight every day, 3 days a week. So when the client change arriving date, one day, I have to change the whole itinerary from the beginning. Because if there is no direct flight from Izmir to Cappadocia that day, I have to
Mm-hmm.
turn it around and put it starting from Cappadocia and think about all
Yeah,
the other
you have to
possibilities.
start rescheduling it again.
Yes, so this is
Yeah.
part of the job. So for me, it's all okay. I'm okay with this sort of things. But
Uh-huh.
what I'm not okay is when people wants to rush and buy the tour,
Description.
and then they don't know what they're buying. So
Yeah.
that's the case. Is then because because I'm not only a travel agency, because for travel agencies, one thing is easy. Like you can book everything, and you
Mm-hmm.
can then after you book everything, your guide is doing all job. Because for
Yeah.
multi-day tours, I'm talking about. So
Is it is yeah, is the travel agency a family business?
mine, yes. With my wife,
Yes.
we are
Okay.
running it together. My wife is from Serbia. She is there now.
Okay.
She went
Uh-huh.
to Belgrade. Uh, she is doing
Yes.
Spanish, uh, and I'm doing my English tours.
So she's there on Syria and you're there in
No,
Turkey
not
at this time.
Serbia, Belgrade.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
Serbia.
she's from there.
Uh,
Okay.
Syria,
So
it's
that
not
is
possible to go now.
yeah. That's nice that the agency is a family. They have the wife
Yes,
and
yes.
the children are also part. The children are also part of the business.
My daughter is 7.5 years old. She hates to say seven.
Uh-huh.
So 7.5 years old. So she's
But
small
I
for
think
this.
she's learning. She's learning that one. You know,
She
children.
loves some. Yeah, we have
Yeah,
vehicles. We have a van. There is microphone in the van, and she loves to talk and pretend like a guy.
yeah.
So
I,
she likes it.
I see that on your YouTube channel. As you can see, this one. So these are the tours that I guess that's being offered, right? That's
Oh, that's nice.
Ephesus and Apollo.
Oh
These
yes,
are
yes,
basically yeah the tours.
yes. These are the tours because during the pandemic, this one I
That
shoot it
side.
with Maria. She was the camera behind the camera.
This one.
And we have nothing to do. Like we said, why not? Let's start shooting some places, and people
Mm-hmm.
may watch. And yeah, I think they like
I
some.
think you should do more. Yeah, you should do more with this one on the video, like this, on the tours that you offer. Like this
Mm-hmm.
one, the boat. This is Istanbul, right? This is a boat cruise.
Yes, yes, this is a private boat,
Yeah, this is very
Bosphorus,
beautiful.
Bosphorus cruise. The last
Yeah.
one I did was in Bodrum. We had Gulet. Gulet is a big private boat.
Year ago. Yep.
We
Okay.
did it for 2 days.
This one. But this is nice. You should upload this one.
YouTube like takes long time because I have now the business started.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
and
We also have a website for this one.
yes, I have a website
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice.
because my
So
name is
if the
very unusual
Yes, he
Turkish name.
does. Yep.
So if you write if
it's
you write,
hard. It is hard, but
it is hard, but
it is easy to remember.
it is easy to find. If you write
Yeah,
my name to
it's very
Google, there's
Turkish.
only me. So
Yeah.
I
We
started,
don't
because
that is
I
easy
was,
to search.
yes, easy to search. I didn't do it on
One of
purpose.
you and only you. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was on a tour and I was working for a travel agency, and one of my clients that I remember, she was very happy from the tour, and she told me, like, why don't you? Can I write a review for you? I said, of course you can write, but I had no idea what the review means, or because they're talking about maybe 15 years ago. This social media was not very popular back then, and she told me like there is a page called TripAdvisor. I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay. For the first time I heard about it, but she said, can you do a blog or something? I said yes, and I went home and she wrote a review. I had no idea. Like, she went home and we didn't see each other anymore. So I prepared a blog like on computer, like WordPress, very easy, and I put my name there, Ertunga Ecir, like that's my name, and my
Mm-hmm.
intention was to share photos, to share information about Ephesus and other sites in Turkey. And then I put my email there, and suddenly the mails, emails started to come. Like, somebody wants to go to Ephesus. I say, wow, how this person knows? Like, somebody is writing me, because I forgot that the client who went home and who told me that she was going to write review. And I said, okay, but I didn't have any idea what the review means, also where she will write. And then few others, like there are cruise ships coming, and every cruise ship comes, and I have one, two people are writing me email, and they say, this day we are arriving, so can you be our guide? I say, okay, but I'm asking people, where did you find my name? That's, who is telling you about me? They said, do you know the system like TripAdvisor? There is a, not page then, there was a blog, or people are writing in this blog. So somebody sent me a link, and I read this, and that's how that lady put the review about me, and I understood that's how people found me. Then I said, let's do it little bit more professional, and I set up this website, but I didn't change the name. Because I was zero about technology. I had no idea about keywords, about searching engines. So I didn't know, like, people were going to write Ephesus, so the website. It's basic things. I had no idea. And still not
Mm-hmm.
very good in technology. I'm just and even my friends sometimes make fun of me, like, the best font for you is nothing, because we just speak and text. So I don't know that different to use different. Some people are, they go to phone and they look at. I just take picture, and I bought one phone because it takes good picture. Like, for me, because I go to tours, The bright picture is important. And I came home and I paid this much money. I said, "Why are you crazy? Then you can do everything on computer now. You can have their programs." So I don't know, like,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, learning, but it's hard to learn sometimes because
Yeah,
these
but it
things.
is also good. Yeah, like now that most of the people are on social media. So it's
It is now.
nice. Like yeah,
I
they
have a
have travel. It's
yes. I have,
it's easy for them. Yeah, to search.
right,
Yeah,
but
like this one. Mm-hmm.
yeah. I now I'm doing like, but for fun. Like I'm doing the YouTube. I have a Facebook group.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
discover discover Turkey and travel tips. I have
Mm-hmm.
another one for biblical tools, like biblical Turkey, a page. I'm doing this Facebook groups, but the thing is, this is small business, a family business, and planning,
Uh-huh.
guiding, and social media to do all these things as
Mm-hmm.
one person, uh, then it's hard. For example, I shoot this most of videos during this lockdown, and many people are very sad because
It's
of
a lot.
lockdown. They lost business, but I say no. Like for a long time, I couldn't have time for myself, to read because for guides we have to read. We have to read a lot. Uh, Many people don't now come to Turkey, for example, to listen very deep archaeology or, but it doesn't matter. You have to be ready for everyone, because it's always easy if people doesn't want to learn much, because then that you can feel, because as guides we have to be good psychologists as well, because you have to understand, uh, because especially private tours, because private tours, once you start your tour, you have to be with the same group 15 days. And for 15 days, it can be disaster if you don't understand that psychology of that group. Nobody is the same. And for many people, they think private tours are very easy, like you're dealing with two people. I believe me, dealing with one person is more difficult than dealing with 30, because 30 people, right? You are the one who is speaking, and you finish your conversation with people, and you ask them, like, do you have any question? If they have any question, then they tell you, and you answer, and then you finish. You sit on the bus, and you can go. But for a private tour, it's not the same case. Like they ask you everything. So which I'm okay, because I'm happy with that, and I like doing private tours. But what I mean is it's not easy. So you have to understand the psychology of the people. Some people are, they want to talk. They don't want to listen. They listen to you, of course, but they want to talk more. They want to explain themselves. So you have to sometimes be a good listener in a private tour, not always a good talker. Like the first thing what I experience is you should listen to people. You should learn how to listen first. Otherwise,
Indeed.
if you know whatever you know, it doesn't matter. If you don't know how to listen, uh, you can know everything about Turkey or your country. It's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a good listener, then sometimes you don't have to waste your time talking about nonsense things for that person, for example. Uh,
Yeah.
that case is, but I mean, is like during all these social media things, like computers or your website or blog, like you have to, now technology is so fast. I mean, you have to be ready for the new changings. Like you're talking, like Clay, Clay wrote me like, do you want to be my guest? I said okay, but I was thinking, okay, should I watch your program, StreamYard? She said, no, you will be my guest. I said, I don't have any idea, how to.
Yeah. It was.
I, I would like to help you. I said, but like I'm okay with that, but how will I do that? So
Yeah, I
to
remember
set the
that
stage, I
one.
will
Yeah,
Memory
send
goes.
you.
yeah.
Okay.
we
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
we had a long chat of that one. It was explained to him
Uh-huh.
about how it goes and this one because I watch your videos. I like the tours. Personally, I do have plans of going to Turkey one day if I can,
Okay.
Oh,
especially
you should call me.
Cappadocia. Yeah,
Okay.
You should call me.
yeah,
I will
yeah.
not charge for me.
I
Don't worry.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have you give us me and Paul a big discount.
Promise. Promise.
Mm-hmm.
I will take you to my
No,
second home, to Ephesus.
I want to see this one and the videos, that one. So
Yes,
hopefully
both
Yeah.
of
one
us.
day we can come. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we
Yeah,
can come and visit
please.
this place. Yeah, it
Let's
is.
talk
So
about
it's
like whenever you. Let's wait a little bit more. That the cases will. Hopefully, this COVID will
Mm-hmm.
be soon
Yep.
okay, and we all
yeah.
can travel. Like I also want to travel. It's not okay. Like for example, I travel in Turkey 15 days, but this is not the same thing. Like
Indeed.
this is my
Uh-huh.
business.
Mm-hmm.
This is my job. I enjoy it, but uh,
Yeah.
how can I explain? When you're in a different country, there is. I always call it
Mm-hmm.
a
Chip
bug.
chip.
The bug it
Mm-hmm.
enters your and changes you. You
Yeah. Yeah.
become and your
Uh-huh.
that feeling you can never get in your own country. Doesn't matter where you go. The feeling that you're in
Yeah.
outside. For example, uh,
Mm-hmm.
simple things, right? The church bell is
Mm-hmm.
maybe for you that
Mm-hmm.
you hear that church bell every day, but for me, like that's
Mm-hmm.
it. For me, I feel like I'm traveling because I have to
Mm-hmm.
listen that prayer call in a Muslim way.
Mm-hmm.
So every day, 5 times a day. That's for a tourist. That's a very interesting because
Mm-hmm.
being a tourist is a different. You never know
Mm-hmm.
what makes or what make interest you or simple thing that nobody can see makes you happy. That's what traveling is. Uh, it's okay, good to be guide and
Mm-hmm.
introduce my country to people, but uh, when you start traveling
Mm-hmm.
yourself, when you're used to that, that's a
Mm-hmm.
different, amazing feeling. Then
Mm-hmm.
uh, now my daughter is 7.5. I said like from she was baby. And every year we try to go at least one place, except last year
Mm-hmm.
for a long trip. So she's used to now. She says I must go somewhere at the age of 7.5. That's how we want her to grow up also. We hope, no, it's not want, not we hope for her to to
Uh-huh.
to enjoy from traveling. And uh,
Yeah.
I also meet some people
Uh,
like I met thousands of people. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot imagine doing this 20 years. Uh,
Uh-huh.
they don't enjoy. They have money, like they have lots of money, and they come to one place. Really, for them, like okay, sometimes you really to enjoy. You really must like traveling. You shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
force yourself. Like uh, they come by cruise ship. Like I don't say I don't like cruise ships, but for cruise ships you don't understand one country,
Mm-hmm.
so you just spend there for 6 hours. That's it.
That's right.
Like you may see Ephesus, but you cannot know what the people are living, their economy, their problems, their history, and by the way, Ephesus is not Turkish history. Like it's a Greek history, and I respect my Greek friends, and they sometimes say, "Oh, you're living in Turkey,
Mm-hmm.
and this is our history." I say,
huh?
"Yes, it's your history, but what can we do?" That's so. Uh, I was born in this country. I love my country, and that's Turkey now. Sorry for the past, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's not me. I can do anything about this. That's part of my country now,
That's right.
and I'm doing my best to explain that. And I always tell people that's a Greek city. But if you're thinking about that, before Greece there was somebody else living here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only Greek.
Mm-hmm.
There's or after Greece there was Roman, and after Roman there Turkey, and after Turkey there maybe some other nation will come and live here. So we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So while we are
I think I think Turkey is the country that has the, you can see it on the Asia part and also
Mm-hmm.
on Europe part, right? The
Yes,
location
that's
of Turkey is that, yeah, you're both. That's why when you come to this place, like different, like Ephesus, you're
mm,
like being go back
Mm-hmm.
to the history. You can see Romance and Greek culture there. And when you go to Cappadocia, you're just like another planet, which is also
yeah,
different. So that makes
yes,
Turkey unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's
exactly,
like
yes,
yeah, it's a like you see a lot of different countries and
Mm-hmm.
Turkey. Yeah, a lot of history and culture of that one.
exactly.
Yeah, so
So
Mm-hmm.
the
you don't
location
you,
is
you don't travel only Greek buildings. You
yeah,
travel and see
Mm-hmm.
Roman buildings. You travel and
yeah.
see Byzantium. Then uh, it's not only Greece in Turkey. People maybe Hittites are here, Phrygians are here. You know
Mm-hmm.
that's or I don't know if you how much you're
Mm-hmm.
interested in the history, but we have a place called Göbekli Tepe. Next week I'll be there. The name of I should write it because it's hard to. By the way, when I write something, can you
Yeah,
see?
it's okay. Yeah.
Like this is the place, 12,000 BC. Now
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be boring about talking so much about this place,
I
but
don't
just
know why you're writing it in the.
Where is this one? What part of Turkey
this
is
is
this?
southeast of Turkey. If you Google that place, the name of the place is Göbekli Tepe. Or other place I will write for you.
Is this on the part Mersin?
Mm-hmm.
No,
No, no, further,
Mersin.
further.
No.
It's right in Syria border. It's the place is called uh, Urfa. Like this one. This is the city. Urfa is the city, right on the border.
Uh,
Uh, Çatalhöyük, the second place that I wrote is in Konya. Konya, middle of Turkey.
mm-hmm.
Now, these are not Greek. Like these are, we are talking
Turkish.
about no Turkish.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of
Oh
civilization.
yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no Turkish, there was no Greek back then. There was
Nope.
nobody. You know, there was no nationality.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
People used to live in caves, and then these cities are
Yep.
Neolithic cities. When we say Neolithic period,
Mm-hmm.
which means people started to farming,
Mm-hmm.
and they were hunter and gatherers, and now they became not from hunter and gatherers. They started to farm. They learned how to
Mm-hmm.
live together in towns and villages. This is called
Mm-hmm.
Çatalhöyük. That is the first town, we can say, in the world. So it is very difficult to say something first, you know, because in archaeology we are talking about a long history. That's why I always say in my tours, till they find a new one or new information. The
Mm-hmm.
information that we have today, that city is the first town in the world. And Göbekli Tepe is even earlier period. So, which changed the whole history in the world. I mean, for us, when you travel somewhere, you may not be interested in very deep knowledge of this sort of archaeology and history. But if the person who knows how to explain these things, actually these are very interesting because Göbekli Tepe, 12,000 BC. 12,000 BC, people were still, with our knowledge, Stonehenge is for 5,000. So
Mm-hmm.
7,000 years earlier, made by men and huge T-shaped stones. We still don't know why they made this. There are theories, but theories are not uh, facts. The theory is that some like there are ridiculous theories also, but the closest theory because of the land and other similar foundations in the region, probably these were places where people worship something, but they worship what we don't know. They worship what kind of god we don't know. So
Mm-hmm.
when we go somewhere, it's sometimes hard to say. Like as a guide, people think you may know everything. Like for example, My grandfather was like living in a village, and when I went to high school, he was always asking me everything. I said, I'm not doctor, I'm just learning English. When he was headache, he was asking me like, what's good for me? They expect you to know everything, but this sort of places we don't know. Like there is a mystery there. There is a huge mystery and many questions that waiting for to find answers. But the amazing thing is the date when they were built and the carvings on these stones. People could carve the stones and make animals around them. And the other one, Çatalhöyük, like they have beautiful wall paintings, and they describe this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the beginning of art, actually, people, because the art, the art started in caves. Like people draw the caves and drawing art. Like they describe how they're hunting one animal, but here they not only animals, funerals, dancings, weddings, or there was eruption in volcano eruption in a close by mountain. They drew this to their wall, and you can get an idea about the geography of that. They were burying their very very interesting, because if somebody died, they buried them in their houses. The way they have they bury, and hunting animals, or they domesticated animals for the first time. That's very interesting, because they start to live in the houses, and the entrance to the houses are from the roof, not normal door, because of safety and wild animals. And they found little plots of land between the houses for their garbage. They were throwing their garbage because most of their time they were living on the roofs. They were going down in winter to sleep, and in summers they were sleeping on the roof, and they were throwing their garbage to these little plots, and the pigs came to eat those garbages, and they closed the door, and they domesticated pig. The first animal was dog, so they learned domesticated dog for protection, maybe for warning, and then they domesticated pig, sheep, goat, and this is how civilization started. So when I see, also I'm running, I told you, like Facebook groups, few of them, because I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy explaining people and more about my country. So sometimes Greek friends, they always judge the Turks and say, no, this is Greece, this is Turkey. I find this sort of things very limited and unnecessary, because this, I mean, doesn't matter it's Greek or it's Turkish or it is whatever, because we have to respect these places because of the history. Not only these are made by Greeks. Who knows what kind of Greeks they were? Like if you look at me, for example, I have my face, my physical things. I don't look like Turkish at all. So we don't know who is Turkish, who is Greek, because we are all mixed in this place. Now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
600 years.
you don't look like Turkish, but your name is.
Yes,
You're more of European. Your
yes. Like
features are more European, not Turkish. Yeah.
I go to Greece a couple of times, and I see Greek people look like Turkish. I can see the difference. Or who looks like Turkish, or who is Turkish, or who is Greek. Like when you think about this land, and when the Turks came from Middle Asia, like Mongols, like they came here and they started to live here. They were tribe, not even a nation. Like they were tribes. Tribe can be few thousand people. And from few thousand people, they found Ottoman Empire, which was ruled three continents. So a few thousand people ruling three continents, and you expect them now all to be Turkish. No. So they're mixed. Arabs, Greeks. I know some people are not happy about that, but that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So some people accept Islam, some people kept their religion. The ones who accepted Islam, or they had to sometimes, they forced them, I don't know. But let's say, or to pay less tax, they accept. So, and they became Turkish now. but ethnically they are not Turk. Like if you look at me, I have nothing similarity any Turkish. Typical like Paul looks more Turkish than I look, for example. Typical
Mm-hmm.
Turkish. That's how Paul looks like dark and oval face. But
That's Turkish.
yeah, he looks more Turkish than
Paul, you look Turkish.
me.
Yeah, you look more Turkish than him.
So
Yeah,
when I see people are writing in that Facebook groups,
My dad's Italian, so that was probably why.
yeah. No, I just noticed that one now.
when I see some Greek friends criticizing about, and there is another side, Armenia. I post one thing today. It's about a relief
Related to
from Aphrodisiac
Turkish. Okay, that's good.
and from a mythology. And
Yeah.
one Armenian person wrote, "This is Armenian." Like for them, everything is Armenian. Everybody wants to prove something. The history. Like, but this is not the first time. This is not now. In all history, Romans did the same. Like they want to base on their history on something, or people wants to base on their ethnicity to one thing. But Turkey is not shouldn't be like that because Turkey is a very cosmopolitan, and I have a very good description about Turkey. We and some people explain that as mosaic. Turkey is a mosaic of different cultures and civilizations. But I find this not enough because mosaic, you have little tiles, little piece of stones, and they're all individually different. And Turkey is not that. We have an art in Turkey, Ebru, we call it. I can write its name, Ebru. So this is what you put a water you in a cup, and you pour different colors, different paint colors, and at the bottom of the water you put a paper, and you make shape with that
Mm-hmm.
colors. Sometimes that colors mixed with each other, and they enter each other, they suck each other, and they created different tones of colors. So when you move that paper and you have one picture, it's a unique, but we call it Ebru art. That's a Turkish art. So for me, Turkey is that more than mosaic. When everything is actually not individually different, everything is a good mixture and created a different color. So that color can be unique color. So you cannot mix green and red to get that color because other colors also mix there. So you never know what color you get because depends on how much green you put, how much red you, how much yellow you put in it. So it makes all different tones of colors, and those colors are all unique colors. So for me, the description of Turkey is that Ebru, like when mixture of all different colors and you get something unique. So that unique means good or bad doesn't matter. Like we all
Mm-hmm.
have problems in our country. That's if I talk about political problems, we can be here till morning. But it doesn't mean everybody in Turkey is the same. Like everybody in your country is the same. Like if people are different, and especially in global world now, uh, there are people like belongs to the world. I can say, not anywhere. So although I love my country and I'm happy to do my job here and introduce my country to everyone, but I don't see myself belong to anywhere. So anywhere in the world, as long as I'm happy, I can live.
Uh-huh. So, if where would they contact you if they plan to have a trip to Turkey?
Contact me.
Yeah, if they want to plan, so
I can write my website.
okay. This is the one that I'm playing right now, as you can see on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
screen.
That's
The
yes,
fan.
that's my
Okay.
website. Yes. There they can
Could
enter. They can read
could you write
reviews.
it? Could you write it on the comment? so
I
I
wrote, I
can
wrote
show
uh,
it there.
my
Uh,
name and surname. My
uh,
website is the same. No, that's
okay.
what I wrote. I don't know if you see it. Private chat. I wrote. I don't. I told you I don't understand this technology so much. I don't know where I'm writing. I hope I'm
Yeah,
writing in it.
it's there. It's there. I'm showing it there.
Yeah, that's the only
So this
place
one,
that I
okay.
see.
Okay, bear with me.
Yeah. So
I'll copy him.
could you could
I'll
you do
do
it,
it.
Paul? So if people would
I'll
like
do
to
it for you.
contact
It's in a
us,
live
yeah.
chat now.
Hmm.
So there it is.
Anybody is watching
Yep,
us, by the way?
I put it there.
Okay, that's so that is the website.
Yep.
If they would want to contact you to have the trick tours.
There's a few. There's a few people watching.
Good. I hope
Yeah.
they enjoy. Do they have question?
Yes.
They're more than welcome. If they have any question,
There were a few, but we've already answered them. And yeah, if anybody wants to check out his tour, it's
and I don't know later on if you have Paul and Clay, if you have time one day, can be next week. I
Yeah.
can make you
just copy and
online
paste.
Ephesus tour if
Yeah,
you are
you just let
interested in
us.
that.
Yeah, if you will be live on Ephesus next week, right?
I should I go to Ephesus, or I explain like this now?
Yeah, it is. It is good. You just let us know.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
Trail. Okay, Trail. It's not the link. It's a website. His channel is pinned. As you can see, it's pinned on the top. That is his YouTube channel. You can
He
also
says it
see
can't.
his. Yeah, Trail says
His
that you can't
website,
click
guys.
on the link. That's the website. So the YouTube channel is also pinned on the top. So if you could go there, you could also see
Yeah, so
the tours.
yep, copy and paste it, guys. Just highlight it
Yeah.
and copy.
Okay. Just that one. Okay. So I want to hear you say it in Turkish.
Or go to the website directly on YouTube for pin at the
Yeah.
top
Okay.
and go to the yeah.
Paul, I want
Clay,
to hear. I want to
what you want to
hear.
hear?
I want to hear you say invite people, those who are on the chat or those who are gonna watch the replay. Uh, invite them to go to Turkey, and I hope you have a good time here with us. But I want to hear it in Turkish.
Evet, okey.
Yeah. Okay.
Öncelikle herkese iyi akşamlar dilerim. Umarım bir gün Türkiye'ye gelirsiniz ve bizim ülkemizi ziyaret edersiniz. Teşekkürler herkese.
That's good. So Paul, Paul, do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Paul is
Yes,
definitely
Claire.
Turkish. He doesn't look like
Okay.
Turkish. I think he's Turkish. He
No,
understood
I
it.
have no idea with Turkish, but yeah, I know I look Turkish, but I don't understand it.
But you said yes, yeah.
You did. You did. Uh, so we. Oh my.
Dear.
The thank you in Turkish. It's hard to say it. I cannot. I cannot say that one. But
Are we?
is it tesikulas?
Teşekkürler,
I
yes.
say yeah.
Thank you
It's
very much.
tesikulas. Yeah.
Yeah,
I still
teşekkürler.
I still remember my
What is
Turkish
thank you in
words.
Turkish?
Clay, you have been to Turkey before.
Uh, a long time. I was
All
still
right.
young. Yeah,
Kulas.
it was a long time. So I kind of have an idea of Shashmir and Ishmir.
Okay.
Yeah, we went there summers and Kashmir, so I have an idea of that one. But I want to see as the Ephesus. I haven't there. When we went there, we were not able to go there, and also the Cappadocia. I wanted to
Ah,
see the
yeah,
air
yeah.
balloon. Yeah,
I
that
think
one.
you will enjoy it.
Yeah,
Hey,
it.
please call me when you want to come.
Yeah. Paul will call. Paul
Paul will
will make.
call.
Yeah, Paul will
Mhm.
call that
Sure.
one.
Then
He
we
wants to
will
get
drink
me
raki.
on
We will
that.
drink
Yeah.
raki together.
Yeah, yeah. So
We say in Turkey, when you drink raki, you may start Turkey. Speak Turkish.
uh-huh. So I want to thank you for being our guest. We
Oh,
Thank
learned
you
okay.
a
for.
lot.
That's
You know,
good.
we
Thank you
had
very much
fun. Yeah,
You
we
for
drink
had
it and
invite.
then
fun.
you talk
Yeah.
Turkish.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
Turkish. Yeah, we will have a good we have the good opportunity. We learned a lot from the Turkey and able to know about it. Not a lot. So, Paul Paul is busy.
Answering questions.
Actually, he is. Paul
Oh,
Hmm.
Paul,
I think
Yep.
we finished,
we're gonna
right?
end. Yeah,
Everybody's messaging me now. Yeah, thank
yeah.
you for being here
Thank you
in
very
the
much
live
again.
stream.
Thank you very much.
Are we ending? Okay, thank you for
Uh,
coming and entertaining us.
if
And
Paul,
thank you for
if
everybody to listen to me. And I hope they
Thank you.
enjoy also. I
yeah, you just let her know if Paul he wants to talk about Ephesus next week.
yeah, yeah.
If you
I
can
would like.
do, if you
I
can
would
do
like.
like that one, Paul,
Yep.
I'm
okay,
happy to do that.
just
I'm starting a
yeah,
tour
just
on 9th or 10th.
haha.
Maybe after 23rd. That would because I'm getting old now.
Ephesus next
I'm
week.
getting tired easily.
Who's getting
So
old?
me,
No one's old in here.
I'm aging, getting age
Okay.
actually. So after 23rd, my tour finishes on 25th.
He says he's getting old.
We
Ah,
can
Oh
arrange
dear.
a date.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
After
better word
Paul,
of Asian, yes.
yeah. After the 23rd, yeah, we can arrange that one,
Yeah,
right, Paul?
I would be happy.
Okay.
After the 23rd, because we still have the
Well,
22nd.
let us know. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Yes, let us know.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Have a great time. Thank you.
yeah. Have a
Yeah,
great
that'd be
evening there.
fine.
Yeah.
And we will confirm a date together.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Okay, bro.
Okay. Have a lovely
Thank you
evening
for as well.
for
Thank
your
you, everybody.
asking.
Thank you for
Yeah.
watching
So
us.
yeah.
Can
Thank
I?
you.
You will send me a link for this. Can I? If I want, I
Yeah.
can share
Okay.
it
I
with
will.
on my Facebook group maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I will send this one so that there are people who wants to see.
Hmm.
And this is gonna be also on the channel. So if people were gonna watch, have an
All
idea
right.
of go to Turkey. I'll send you the link of this one,
Thank you,
so
Clay.
you can also you can also have to share that one. So
Great, great. Thank you very
Paul,
much.
Mhm.
yeah. So Paul, are you gonna say bye for
Okay. Thank you for joining and have a good
okay?
evening. And we'll see you soon. Yep. Bye.
Okay, so
Yep. Bye, everybody.
thanks for everyone. Okay.